Hello, my name is Irene Bay. I'm a third-year undergrad student studying global and public health sciences.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cairo Archer, and I'm also a third-year BS candidate studying nutritional science and plant science. And I'm here representing the team of TCI interns over the summer who traveled to ICRISAT, the International Crop Research Institute of the Semi-Arid Tropics, in Hyderabad, India, where we were conducting a project that revolved around the intra-household food allocation of adolescents in Maharashtra, India. And ultimately, the goal of our research was to try to see if we could determine any sort of allocation bias between genders, and if this allocation bias was contributing to the dual burden of malnutrition and undernutrition that you can typically see in Indian households in this region. And so our research was interesting for two main reasons. The first being that we studied adolescents, which is a typically understudied group in intra-household food allocation research. And we also looked at gender bias, like I said. So we wanted to really determine if gender was a key impact on how adolescents were eating in these areas. And we used three different methods to assess this pretty big research question. The first being a minimum nutrition data set for agriculture, which was actually coined and created by other TCI interns. We also used a 24-hour dietary recall, and we also used a market level dietary analysis to try to incorporate all of these things in our results. And after we gathered all of our information from the summer, we took it back this semester and kind of honed in on individual interests that we had, but also kind of bolstered the project to come up with two main findings that I'm going to share with you guys today. The first finding is we do see a pervasive allocation bias in iron and protein amongst girls and boys, so females are being biased against in this case. And the main predictor of this bias is the household level income of the sample that we assessed. And because this is brief, I also wanted to share some general experiences that we had. We had a great time in India, obviously, and we were all very thankful for the opportunity. And being researchers and also people who are interested in nutrition-related careers, this was an invaluable experience for us for so many ways. Not only did we get to interact with a really qualified group of scientists, but we kind of got to experience what fieldwork would be like. And I know a lot of us are interested in doing this sort of thing for our career. So it was a great time, and thanks for having us.
Hi, I'm Jessica Sokolow, and I am a master's student in the SIPA program, the Cornell Institute for Public Affairs. And I was part of the TCI summer research team, the intern team this summer. And I was working with PRADAN investigating the self-help groups in the Bar Bazaar block of West Bengal to understand the process that led to a participant's transformation. Before joining the group, many of these women didn't interact with others and rarely left their homes. Now, after joining the group, women went out into the community with their groups and are now known by their own name rather than the name of their husbands. Through this work, I came to understand the incremental process women go through when participating in the self-help groups, and the importance of particularly mutual support, access to new knowledge, and leadership opportunities that are essential to women's ability to make positive changes in their lives. The information learned from these women in these interviews was powerful and raises awareness of the need for further research to better understand this process of transformation more broadly in self-help groups. This research can both improve the interventions, but also to shed light on the positive impacts these interventions have on communities. Personally, the internship was very impactful for me. I spent weeks talking to these women who have overcome horrible difficulty in their lives and are now fighting to stop violence against women and to create equality for women in their communities. And this changed my vision of empowerment. I realized that against all odds, these women are more empowered than I am. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Hanzhou. I'm also a second year SIPA student. And this year, Karina, she will present later, and we interned together in the TARINA office in New Delhi with the Center of Excellence. So we stayed there in total for 7 weeks. So my main work during that time period is focusing on understanding and evaluating the food safety standards in India. And my main takeaways first is that although since 2006, the Indian government has published the Food Safety Standard Act as a single reference food safety law to deal with all the food related issues. And also they have established an organization called Food Safety Standard Authority as a food safety regulator to take care of all the implementations actors. But the work done by the organizations still has overlapping between other organizations like Bureau of Indian Standards and Decrematic of Marketing Expectations. And the second point is that the India is still in the process of integrating their domestic standards with the international standards, such as Codex and International Safety Organization standards. So they're still in the process of that. And the third point is that the implementation level general is still quite low. So in my study, I choose the dairy sectors and vegetable and fruit sectors as the case studies. And studies have shown that general, like the food operator business sectors are in the control of regulating and controls are still limited. Overall, there are 80. So choose dairy sectors as an example. 80% of the manufacturers of productions are out of the control of the law. So it's quite like a very serious concern. And also the food lab contribution and also the professionals overall are distributed unevenly among different states in India. And the third one is that general studies have shown that the education and awareness level in India is quite limited. So like people has very limited awareness of how important of food safety is. So that's why I think what Antonia done like in the summer was very invaluable. So this is what I learned from the summer. I really had a very good time there, and I really appreciate the support during the semester, and also back in Indian TCI team has provided us. And I also, because I'm from China, so like my time during India was very interesting to see like also a country has such a big population and such a wide range of people. So I also plan to do a comparison study in terms of food safety between China and India. So thank you all.